So what are the 4 most important categories for you to consider when you're preparing to evaluate an investment property, particularly if you're getting ready to sell your property and you want to understand what the value is in today's market? Well, let's go take a look and find out. Today, what I want to share with you is a model called the Strategic Analysis Model that was actually designed by the CCIM Institute. I've been an instructor with the Institute for several years and have found this model to be extremely helpful in terms of covering the 4 key components of evaluating investment property. Now, most of the videos that you're going to see on this topic will tend to focus on financial underwriting, discounted cash flow, cap rates, internal rates of return, equity multiples, so on and so forth. But today I actually want to give you a bigger picture of the 4 most important things that we use when we're designing and developing a market valuation on a specific piece of commercial property. So the very first one that we look at is the political and legal zoning classification of the property. We want to understand the municipality that the property sits within, the zoning bylaws, and what the use rights for the property are. I can't tell you how many times I've run into situations where a building was designed for a particular use, but the municipality changed the zoning on it, so it's no longer allowed to be used for that specific design. In fact, it's been downzoned or rezoned to another use. So understanding zoning in the local market is very important for what your use rights are for your property. Also the political side. So what does the municipality want to see happen with the property like yours? Have they created a new overlay, for example, that would allow you to create mixed use or multi-tenant high density development on a parcel, for example, that might have been underdeveloped with that new zone, without that new zoning in place? So number 2, market and competitive. So what market and competitive makes up is the supply and demand side of the market that allows you to identify what your competition is, okay? What prevailing rates are in the market on a price per square foot basis for lease, vacancy rates, similar class product that's sold in the recent past or that's for rent in the market and is competing for the tenants that you're trying to find for your property. So understanding the geography that your property competes within, which would be a trade area, as well as the comparable set, is key for identifying that market and competitive analysis. The third component of the model is the location and site. So what's the difference between the two? Well, typically you hear the expression that real estate is all about location, location, location. And what that really means is you want to be located in a high demand space in the market where people and businesses want to use the square footage that you own to produce a profit, okay? Whether it's a profitable experience for them as a consumer, whether it's a profitable business venture on that square footage. So looking at the location in the general market is key. The site itself is the next level of analysis. The site looks at the topography, it looks at the egress, the ingress, the location in relationship to highways, transportation such as rail, commutability, access to employment centers and employee bases, okay, in the market. So that would be a location and site component. And then the fourth aspect of this is the financial analysis, and this is that discounted cash flow analysis. It's the income capitalization that we would run to come up with the valuation of the property. Now, the 4 key questions that we're really trying to answer within that category are: how much is going into the investment property? When's the money going into the investment property? How much is coming out of the investment property? And when will the money come out of the investment property? Those 4 key components of that financial analysis model are necessary for determining whether there's a feasible profit opportunity for you and for your buyer for your property, because the buyer wants to make sure they can come in and profitably operate the property in order to pay you to take it over. So I hope this has helped This does come from the CCIM Institute. It's the CCIM Strategic Analysis Model. It's very helpful. You can design your own acquisition checklist off of these 4 key components, or if you're trying to do a valuation for your property, so you want to evaluate that investment property, you can use these 4 components to make sure that you're seeing the whole picture of how the property sits within the market and how it operates from a financial perspective, a market competitive perspective, a location site perspective, as well as a political and legal perspective. My name is Jeremy Cyrier. I'm happy to see you today in this video. Please hit the subscribe button so we can keep you up to date on future videos that we put out about the market. And see you again next time. Thanks.